All right, we are live. Hey guys, this is Alex with Stoner Franchising, and I'm here today with Shamar Pusel with Outdoor Living Brands, and we are covering Mosquito Squad today. So, one of the best things about Outdoor Living Brands is that you have the ability to gauge yourself and gauge other brands out there by what this company is doing for veterans in franchising. I mean, I literally see this as a company that's bridging the gap in veterans transition programs where the government leaves off and the employers can't compensate for. So my message for veterans is always veterans helping veterans, and that's in business, in life, period. And that's what I'm here to do today. I'm here to ask questions about these franchises and about franchising in general. And after we get done with working with Shamar and talking about her brands, today we'll answer some questions, any questions that you guys have to put through. This is a Google Hangout, so I've left the response question open so that you can ask questions and we'll hopefully get to them. All right, so let's start this off today by thanking Shamar for being on with us today, and I'm going to hand it over to you. Why don't you introduce yourself, Shamar, and tell us a little bit about yourself and Mosquito Squad.
Sure.
All right,
you are up. Thanks for joining us today. As Alex said, my name is Shamar Pusel, and I am the Franchise Development Marketing Coordinator at Outdoor Living Brands. So basically what that means is I help spread the word and create the buzz for the great franchise opportunities we have here. Today we're going to talk about one of our biggest franchise brands called Mosquito Squad. Mosquito Squad was North America's very first mosquito-focused franchise opportunity. We actually founded the mosquito category and created the technology that is used by other brands throughout the country. Boyd Honeycutt and Scott Zide, who is our current COO of Outdoor Living Brands, developed the technology to eliminate fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes from ruining consumers' outdoor enjoyment. And they actually learned about the need through our sister brand, Outdoor Lighting Perspectives Nighttime Demo. Part of the reason they saw the need is the technicians that were out there during the dusk hours were getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, and they were trying to find a way that didn't include spraying themselves with horrible chemicals to protect them from the diseases that mosquitoes carry. So they developed a backpack blower and a proprietary line of a pesticide that can be applied to the foliage around the perimeter of a home that does not hurt the home, the foliage, or the surrounding nature itself, but does eliminate fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes from coming in and ruining that outdoor enjoyment. So we're going to talk to you today about what a lucrative business opportunity that is for really any entrepreneur, but specifically, why this is a great franchise opportunity for veterans like yourself to explore.
Sweet, and that's what this is about. I mean, realistically, I created this program, Shamar, to really help veterans key in on different opportunities that are available to them. Because, when we get into our transition process, we're all about, making sure that we have income, making sure that we're going to be able to support ourselves, and going by the government checklist. All right, so sometimes things get a little out of skew, and there's so much information out there that we have to know to be able to get out of the military that it makes it difficult for exploration or research into other areas. So this is kind of a broad overview and trying to cover a few franchise opportunities and the things that they represent in a little bit of a broad nature. So not to get too convoluted or complex, we're just trying to do what we can. But one of the questions I have for you about Mosquito Squad is, how big is this brand? Because a lot of veterans see franchises as the big franchises that we know and love, like McDonald's, Burger King, the fast food joints that mess up your order every day. So that's what we have in our mind when we think about that. So can you give us a little bit more about Mosquito Squad? What kind of business is it, and really how how does this compare to other brands in its industry?
Sure. So we're going to start off with the whole comparative nature of Mosquito Squad with other large companies that you probably know of. A few months ago, a gentleman by the name of John Warlow released a book called The Automatic Customer. And in the book, he actually compared the business model of Mosquito Squad to that of Netflix and Amazon, which are two very, very large companies that do very well for themselves. Mosquito Squad has a unique business model where we actually get consumers to sign up for what we call a season of service, a season of protection, if you will, where we come out every 21 days and spray the perimeter of their yard to eliminate the fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes from coming in and ruining that outdoor enjoyment. It's sort of a set it and forget it mentality for consumers. They sign up for the season of protection. They have their credit or debit cards hit every month to pay for the service. And because of that, about 75% of the Mosquito Squad clients renew the subsequent year. So you build the snowball effect for your client base, which absolutely helps with rapid growth and continued growth in the years to come. Mosquito Squad, currently we have about 177 units and counting across the United States. We are sold out in some markets, but as we'll talk about a little bit later, we have some key markets that are still highly populated with mosquitoes, fleas, and ticks that obviously need protection, and they still have an opportunity out there for our veterans to explore. So that's just a little bit about the buzz on Mosquito Squad. We're definitely North America's largest provider of outdoor pest control services. We've been on the Inc. 5,000 list for 5 years in a row, which speaks to our franchisees' growth. That list really takes into account your overall sales growth as a system. So that's something that you should definitely pay attention to. And franchises like ours are rarely on the list once, let alone 5 years in a row. So that just kind of speaks to the volume and growth of the brand as a whole.
Yeah, and that's definitely one of the things that has attracted me to working with Shamar and working with Outdoor Living Brands is, to get on those lists is no small task. It's very, very difficult. And when you see as many awards and accolades as Outdoor Living Brands has and Mosquito Squad has, it's really hard to steer away from. And with some of the benefits of working with their brand, come and the stability and the growth of their brand, it really has come to pass. They have some veteran incentives and veteran programs that work out well. Now, guys, I'll tell you this: you're not looking at a business for its incentives. All right. You look at a business for the business and the amount of money that you can bring in. You're going into business to make money. So naturally, you want to find the business with the best payout or the best return on investment. So, Shamar, if you can tell us a little bit about your the actual business model and really if you can give us, a little bit of percentages or a little bit of numbers on how the industry is doing and what you can see as a business owner, what your franchisees are doing. If you can give us a little bit of numbers on that, whatever you can give us would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So Mosquito Squad, like all the brands here at Outdoor Living Brands, is a home-based franchise opportunity. So you're not investing right away in real estate space or sort of the brick and mortar aspect of the franchising industry. It's a highly scalable concept that can honestly be started with 3 employees, yourself and 2 technicians who are going to be out there actually providing the barrier spray services. One of the things that we see more often than not with franchisees is they start their first year in business with 1 truck and then they grow their client base. The next year they've added, probably about 100 clients and they're going to add another truck as well. So they sort of grow organically with their client base and have that snowball effect. And we definitely do have franchisees who do well over, $2 million a year in sales. And they actually have a little depot that they have all of their Mosquito Squad technicians meet at every morning. They fill up the trucks, repair and get their backpack blowers ready to go, and they send them off on their way. So it's a really unique franchise that can be scaled to meet sort of your goals, aspirations, and more importantly, your skill set. One of the great things about the brand is you have an entire team of dedicated professionals who know every aspect of owning and operating a Mosquito Squad franchise, from our world-class marketing team that's going to help you create your integrated marketing plan to get your phone ringing right away, to our operational team and our field support teams who are going to come out and spend a lot of time with you in your first year to make sure that you're growing and handling any issues correctly. In addition, we have accounting support and technology support and sort of a whole wide variety of different services. And I think what's most exciting this year is we partnered with Jason Cameron. For all of you DIY and HGTV fans out there, Jason Cameron is the National Mosquito Squad spokesperson. So he's helping us share some of the messages with the clients of Mosquito Squad and really U.S. consumers altogether. One thing that's really helped Mosquito Squad set ourselves apart from the competitors is we focus not only on protecting our friends and families by treating their yards, but we also focus on educating them on other ways that they can eliminate fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes from breeding in their home. We actually have the 5 T's, a rap video that we put out a couple of years ago that reminds people to tip, toss, turn, treat, and a few others. So, educating consumers as a whole is very, very important to us. We want to bring awareness to the diseases that, mosquitoes are carrying, as well as ticks now. I mean, Lyme disease is becoming a very, very serious concern for most people in the Northeast portion of the United States. So educating consumers about what they can do to eradicate ticks from breeding in their yards is really, really important. So, that's sort of our mentality. We want to educate consumers. We also want to protect them, and we want to do everything we can to make our franchisees successful. In addition to having our corporate support team, they also have an entire family of Mosquito Squad franchisees, and we come together once a year at our annual meeting, and to hear them discuss about what went well, what didn't go well, areas that they need to troubleshoot or work on for the subsequent years has been really, really great. We actually have a working roundtable section where we put franchisees from their 10th year down to their, their first and second year in business to kind of walk our new franchisees through, some of the things that they can expect in their first few years of business, things that they want to pay attention to, benchmarks that they're going to want to hit that are going to signal the time for growth and future development of their team. So, we really take a hands-on approach to help them grow their business, but we don't micromanage them in any way to prohibit sort of the creativity that they can possess in being a business owner for themselves.
Awesome. Shamar, what are some of the hurdles to entry? What are some of the things that are required for, say, a new vet coming out of the military? What are some of the things required to be able to step into a Mosquito Squad? And who are you looking for as a franchisee?
Sure. So we're looking for veterans that have drive and determination and the tenacity to sort of take control of their destiny and be their own boss. People that are looking to provide a service not only for their family by generating income that's going to pay their bills and things of that nature, but also their community at large. I mean, Mosquito Squad franchisees genuinely care about the people that they're helping protect every year. It's a very, very low investment franchise opportunity. Our franchise fee is $27,500. We do offer a standard vet friend discount of $2,500 off the initial franchise fee, and we have doubled that as part of the Franchise Talk program, and we also double it every May and November in honor of Military Appreciation Month and Veteran Awareness Month with Veterans Day in November. So in addition to that, you're looking to get a vehicle, market your business in the first year, pay some technicians anywhere between $10 and $15 an hour. It just depends on what part of the country you're located at. And then really, just manage your utilities and other sort of everyday expenses that your business will acquire. So all in, you're looking at anywhere between $75,000 to $100,000 in that first year. Some of our best franchisees that see a return on their investment the fastest do put more into marketing their business and generating leads in that first year than others. People like Dave Macchia and Damian Sanchez come to mind. And they're great franchisees who just get it. Capricia and Ethan Turner in Northeast Indianapolis, two great veterans themselves. I mean, both of them have been active in the military. Capricia still does a lot of recruiting for their local office there, and Ethan actually just got out of the service last year. So this was something that they were doing while they were both transitioning out of the service, and it's just been great to watch them grow. They're sort of the ideal veteran candidate, the ideal veteran family And we have great videos of each of them, kind of telling their story and how they found Mosquito Squad, why they thought it was a great brand, and why they encourage other veterans to join the system too. And in fact, I just did an announcement last week about our 35th location for the year, and it was another veteran. So we're excited to see the veteran community sort of grab on to the Mosquito Squad franchise and ride the wave and see their future with the squad.
That's awesome, and that's an important thing I want to touch on, particularly for some of you guys who might be thinking that $175,000. I don't have that. Listen, most franchises and most businesses are funded by financing, and when you finance a business, it's looked at very, very differently than, say, a car loan. All right. Now you're looking at having, and this is something that I've learned and I've seen, is that you gotta have some capital down. You have to have your own money. All right. You have to have some savings put aside to be able to do this, as well as, cover some living expenses as a little bit of a buffer to what you're doing. And you're coming part way with the bank or whichever lending institution that you're using. And as I understand, Shamar might talk about a little bit about one of their programs as far as financing. You're looking at covering for the SBA, putting at least 25 to 30% of your loan down, and $175,000, or even down to 100 and even less with some of the brands that are out there. You're looking at financing a chunk of change for a business entity that is a template to succeed. And that's what a franchise is. And that's what their brand has proven time and time again. And veterans have been able to afford this. This isn't out of your realm. This isn't beyond your capability. If you're a veteran, you say, no way, I'm not able to afford $500,000. You're right. But this is something that is affordable, it's attainable, and it can change the way that you operate in your daily life. It's going to support your transition. And these are type of companies that you really want to pay attention to, just because of the programs that they do have. And if I didn't hear right, she was even talking about the double vet friend discount for this show. If you're watching the show and this is where you got the information, just let Shamar know. And give me an email. Shoot me an email. Give me a call, and we'll be able to talk a little bit for using my services. That's how you'll be able to get that double vet friend discount and be able to work with me, and being able to go through the steps of really finding it and really being able to see and assess which one's going to be right for you. Because Outdoor Living Brands has 4 brands. It has 4 brands to choose from that are awesome brands. And there's even other brands out there that might work better. Outdoor Living Brands may not be for you, but that's part of the process you have to go through, is you have to assess it. But you're learning about brands right now, and you're learning about brands to be able to get a good picture, a good holistic view of how franchising works and what these brands are about and what they can offer you. So one of the things I wanted to ask Shamar, one of the things I have, at least, I'm out of Florida, okay? Mosquitoes are the state bird. I mean, good Lord, these things are huge, and they'll eat you alive. I mean, you probably take a look at my legs after I come back from fishing with my girls, and I am tore up at the river. We come back from the river, come back from parts of the beach. You walk through those woods, you'll get swarmed. And I know, like, even at my mother-in-law's house, in my mother's house, they live in a centralized piece. It's a little bit more boggy, and those things will tear you up. But we have trucks. We have city trucks that come by, and we have other things to compete with. How does Mosquito Squad kind of work with that? Is about developing in Florida? How would they go about doing that, and what do they need to know?
Sure. So, Alex, when those trucks drive by, do they have people that hop out of the truck and go into the backyard, or are they just spraying a big fog in the front of your house? Yeah,
fog in the front of the house.
Yeah, so you know what they're doing? They're pushing the mosquitoes to the back of your yard. So where you go out and sit on your deck, that's where all the mosquitoes are now habitating, because this horrible, horrible foam has come out in front of your house, and it's pushing it to the back. So what Mosquito Squad does is we circumvent that. So we create the perimeter around your house to eliminate the mosquitoes from coming in. I know, especially in Florida, mosquitoes are very, very prevalent. It only takes about a cat full of water to breed 1,000 mosquitoes, which is crazy. So what happens is mosquitoes are translucent. That's why they can normally come out in the mid-morning hours as well as the evening dusk hours, because they have to actually fly on the underside of plants. So when they land on the other underside of plants, they actually, they feed on the pesticide and then they go away. And they're deterred from coming back into your yard. So that's sort of how we circumvent the competition with the foggers. I mean, they're really not doing anything. They're just moving the problem to the back of your yard. I did want to clarify one point before moving on. The initial investment for Mosquito Squad is $75,000 to $100,000. So it's really not as large of an investment as you might think. So it's not 175, but 75 to 100 to get in and get going in business in your first year. And Florida is actually a unique opportunity because it's currently wide open. We have 2 franchises operating in the state of Florida right now. And the main reason why we've had slow growth into the state with one of the highest mosquito pressures in the country is due to the sort of restrictions people have in the state of Florida on obtaining a pest control license. So we've done a ton of research over the past 10 years, as long as we've been in business, to identify how do we get entrepreneurs and veterans who have no pest control experience the proper license to be able to provide the barrier sprays and things of that nature in the state of Florida. So we're proud to say that we've cracked the case. We figured it out. We can help anybody who's interested. Trisha Charles is amazing. She herself have licensed over 150 franchises with outdoor living brands, the majority of them being with Mosquito Squad, but she does work with some of our other brands too. But she's great. She and Kristen Landon are going to take your candidates through a very detailed process to educate them on all the different aspects of our franchise program. And Mosquito Squad is unique because it has what we call an online learning center. So as a veteran, you're going to be able to log into the online learning center, be fed a ton of information. You can post questions right to your recruitment team. They're going to answer any questions that you have, and we're really going to bring you along the way and help you become the mosquito expert in your area. And then, the expanded services, being able to treat for stink bugs. I don't know if you guys have those down there, but I have them up here in Virginia and I can't stand them. So being able to get rid of those is fantastic. The ticks is another one in the Northeast, and then fleas. The less medication we have to put on ourselves and our pets and our children, the better off we'll all be. Because sometimes people don't even take into consideration that when you spray bug spray on your skin and the DEET is there, not only is it absorbing into your skin, but when you go into the shower and you wash it off, it's then going into our waterways as well. So we're basically just polluting this great planet where we all like to be outside and enjoy the great outdoors, but we're ruining it. We're killing it. And if we keep going the way we're going, my future great-grandchildren may not be able to go play outside without a gas mask on.
Yeah, no, I trust me. If you guys ever been to some of some countries in Asia, they're always walking around with masks. But anyway, no. I had mentioned a little bit ago. I said $175,000. I literally just got an email of another brand that came through, and they said, we're veteran friendly, but the starting cost was like 175. I know you said 175, but now I know how news broadcasters feel when they muck up. I tell you that right now. So, everything else, this is a learning process for me, but initially this is about the data. You're looking at $75,000 to $100,000 just to narrow this, just to square this away. $75,000 to $100,000 average investment, and you're looking at having that initial franchise fee with a double vet fran discount of about 30% and 30% off that franchise fee. And
oh no, Alex, it's $5,000 off.
Okay, $5,000 off. Excuse me. But that's why I want to clarify this. I want to break it down a little bit, and that's what you have to work with. I mean, that's the cost of entry for this is not as high, obviously, as I was just talking about through one of the emails I got. A lot of franchises are very diverse in how they orchestrate, how they do things. This is a home-based business. It starts out a home-based business, and if you're looking at businesses that have brick and mortar locations, or if you're looking at businesses that even have side locations that you have to rent just to store things, you're looking at an increased cost and almost over $100,000 immediately. I mean, period. So one of the things I stress to a lot of vets, and I think Shamar, you can touch on a lot of this, is that home-based businesses to start out, service-based businesses work out really well for vets coming out because of the cost of operations and the initial cost of the equipment and the lack of cost of a brick and mortar location. So to be able to operate and operate well and efficiently, I mean, you need a small home section where you can work out of, and then go about your day with a Mosquito Squad truck or van. But that keeps costs low, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and Mosquito Squad, we wanted to start it that way. I mean, anytime that you're trying to take $500,000 or $1 million out to start a business, it's going to take you longer to recoup the investment itself. So with Mosquito Squad really being between $75,000 and $100,000, I mean, with this subscription-based business model where your clients are signing up for a season of protection, you're able to see the potential to sort of recoup your investment much more quickly than sort of these retail-based businesses. Another great thing I love about Mosquito Squad is we're constantly looking to grow and improve. I mean, just this year we announced the partnership with Jason Cameron. We're going to do a ton more with him next year, so we're really excited about some of the things that are coming up for Mosquito Squad. But we also launched a program called Share the Squad, and that's basically where we empowered our Mosquito Squad clients across the country to share the squad, to share the benefits of the service with their friends and family. And for any client that they were able to, sort of make them become a Mosquito Squad client, they get a $25 gift card to a wide variety of different retailers across the country. So, that's been a lot of fun this year. We worked with Amplifinity to launch that program out. And then we also launched a call center. The call center we're slowly testing with a few markets, and we plan on growing it out to the entire system here in the next year and the year thereafter. But, it's just another service that we're giving to our franchisees to help them start their business faster. Mosquito Squad, if you do reviews on the best mosquito control companies out there, you're going to see Mosquito Squad. We were designated by Entrepreneur Magazine this year as the best pest control franchise out there, and that's competing with big names like Terminix and Orkin and people that have been in the game for hundreds and hundreds of years. Maybe not hundreds and hundreds, but you get the drift. So we're excited, and it's easy. It's such a simple business model. You're going to have a manual, and Alex, you told me in the military, you have your ops manual. This is what you have to do. You carry out your mission, you implement it, and you're successful. That franchising is all about. We have the people, the process, and the products in place to have a turnkey business opportunity for you to take, to deploy, and enjoy. I mean, for not wanting to sound like Dr. Seuss, but it's really that simple.
Well, that was kind of cool. I mean, put that on a new slogan.
Sometimes it just flows. You can tell I'm in marketing, can't you?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but it's really exciting. And Mosquito Squad, all of the brands at Outdoor Living Brands have been pre-vetted by the SBA. So you're really just going through the personal validation process. They know our brands, they know the success stories. It's in the FDD. I mean, if you request the franchise disclosure document from Mosquito Squad as you go through the education discovery process, the item 19 is going to blow you away. And we've had candidates that have looked at other mosquito franchises. We're not going to talk about which ones they are, but one guy that comes to mind is Tim Carter, and he said, looking at you guys and those other guys, it was like Little League versus the Major League. You know which one to go with. It's just the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the success. The proof is in, sort of your company numbers and what you're willing to do to make franchisees successful. So, yeah, I love the squad. I think they're great. They're so much fun to hang out with. They're the funniest people ever. I mean, we had guys at the annual meeting that did the Hans and Franz skit to tell people on how to market their business in the next year. So, they're just a big, goofy bunch of people who like to help people protect their outdoor spaces. So,
yeah, and I kind of touch on your Dr. Seuss moment. You're really looking for brands, and I don't have a problem showing you other brands, especially like even other mosquito brands or other brands that compare with what they're doing, because it's very easy to see the difference. And one of the things I tell a lot of veterans who work with me in trying to find a franchise, trying to see what franchises they qualify for, is that you're looking at brands, and you're looking at, as they grow, they tend to get a little bit more expensive. Well, the reason is because they're successful and they know what they're doing, and they've had a proven model that you can put in front of a bank, or they'll even sometimes in-house put in front of a bank for you and go, well, look, we can get you better rates, because one of the key things is here, it's been proven over and over and over again, and we know we're going to get our money. I mean, that's the long and short of it. Banks are cold-hearted and greedy. I mean, they want their money, and they are not going to take very much risk, especially right now in working with people who try to start their own. You know, that's very, very difficult. I have this, you know, I keep describing franchising as kind of bridging the gap for franchise, for veteran transitions. And the reason is because there's so much that the government leaves out. Going back to your little Dr. Seuss moment, it's can you execute this plan? Can you stay within your left and rights, within your requirements, be a little creative, operate your own business? I mean, this is like being a mid-level leader. I mean, it's all over again. It's okay, you have your responsibilities, you know exactly what you're doing because you were taught, you know how to operate within your requirements and policy. We want you to go out and be successful. We're going to continue to monitor and support and mentor you to continue to make you successful. Only in this case, it's not a pat on the back or you know, not being shouted at or anything. You know, is the consequence that you're looking at. But you're looking at seeing your bank account grow and your net worth and your your wealth grow as a result of your success. This is completing your own mission in life by seeing it to yourself as being successful, making sure that you're successful and setting goals and completing them. And you know, when you come into a group of people and you're looking for this, when you're looking at a franchise, is you're looking for a group of people that have the camaraderie, that have those aspects that you saw in the military and are willing to accept you in as part of that group. And they're all over the country. So you know you have a big support group there for you. All right. So take a look at these things. Keep this in mind. You know, Shamar, I appreciate you hopping on today. If you could give us a little summary of about what we talked about as far as some of the hurdles to entry, just so that we make it clear. I don't want to jostle it up a little bit. I want it to be perfectly clear. What is required to get in this? Just broadly, average investment, franchise fee, which is the initial cost of getting you in the system, and the discount program. If you could, real quick.
You got it. So if you want to join the squad and become squad proud like hundreds of other people across the country, you're going to need an initial investment anywhere between $75,000 and $100,000. And that's your whole first year in business. That $75,000 to $100,000 does include the initial franchise fee to protect one Mosquito Squad territory. Now, some other companies that you look at are going to say, hey, you need 3 to be successful, or you need to buy 5 to be successful. You can be successful with one Mosquito Squad franchise if you follow the system. Don't deter from the system, follow the system. It's very, very important. So the protected territory cost for one Mosquito Squad territory is $27,500. We do offer multi-unit development deals, but this is something you're going to want to talk to Trisha about. Let's make sure it's the right time and it's the right fit to license multiple territories. What else are you going to need? You're going to need drive, determination, a skill set to be able to deploy the manual, to follow the system, to follow the process. You're going to need to care about what you're doing. You're going to want to be successful. And honestly, the sky's the limit with what your potential is with Mosquito Squad. I mean, the business model is tried, true, and tested. The numbers speak for themselves. The need for the services speak for themselves. It's all about, can you take the system? Can you take the people? Can you take the process? And can you deploy it in your own market? And if you follow the system, you're going to be successful. You have a great support team behind you with Outdoor Living Brands and Mosquito Squad. And you have hundreds and hundreds of franchisees just like you who started at this point looking at franchise opportunities, trying to decide what's the best one for them. And they're going to go through the same education process that you're about to embark on. So just enjoy it. It's fun. It's exciting to start your own business. But my only thing that I would strongly suggest is ask questions. Ask questions throughout the process from day one to the last day at confirmation day here in Richmond, Virginia. Ask questions, make sure they're answered, make sure you feel good and strong about the opportunity, because if you do, I have no doubt that you might be one of the lucky people on top of the stage at the annual meeting, you know, sharing the success of being the #1 franchise in our system.
That's awesome. And you know what? Thank you, Shamar, for jumping on with us today and really discussing the system a lot more, because, you know, very few of these opportunities get in front of veterans on their daily lives, and this is a good way to do it, I feel. To let people know what's out there in just kind of a short little blurb. I know we've hopped on for about 30 minutes now, and it's easier to see it and to hear it from people than to see it blown up on a billboard, or even shown around or blasted out on email campaigns. It's just an easier way for, I think, a lot of veterans to get a hold of this in a little bit easier manner. But looking at everything we've covered, I appreciate your time and everything that you've done to support veterans and everything that you guys are doing as a brand and as a whole. So please, if you get a chance, thank Shamar. Thank us by posting to this website. Thank us by shooting out on Google Plus and responding, ask a few questions. We didn't have any questions. We didn't have any questions pop through today. So what I'll end with is this: it's veterans helping veterans, and we help each other in business. They have a few veterans in their system who would be happy to talk with you about their experiences. Please feel free to ask questions. It's all about gaining information, gaining intelligence to figure out how to make the next big decision in your life. Okay. And if you don't ask, you'll never know. And you don't know what you don't know. So, and that seems to be the ongoing thing in the military. So thank you, Shamar, for your time. And please hit us up on YouTube and share us on Facebook. Take it easy, guys. Have a nice night. Veterans helping veterans. Thanks for watching Franchise Talk. Please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like and share us on social media. We are committed to assisting you so that you find franchises without the frustrations of internet searching and sites selling your information before you even get a chance to talk to franchises. If you want to simplify your life and have someone to facilitate your information collection, I'm here to be your personal resource and one-on-one coach. If you would like to be a guest on the show, to ask franchise bigwigs questions, or contact me for franchise support, check out for my contact information below down in the description. Thanks for watching.